Previously unbeaten India succumbed to the resurgent hosts England at the ICC World Cup. The win for England means they can still progress to the semi-final round as they need to win against New Zealand to secure their berth in the last four. Both Pakistan and Bangladesh would hope for a disappointment for the hosts as it would benefit their tournament aspirations. Good morning, I am Dahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Political parties in the final stage of homework to conclude cases of transitional justice. Discussion centered on compensation, pardon and reconciliation. Trend of collecting loans from domestic banks prevails during foreign investments. Nepalese banks invest as much as 29 billion rupees into foreign projects. Vast crowds take to the streets in Sudan to demonstrate against military rule with reports of deaths and injuries. Tens of thousands defy heavy presence of troops demanding power handover to a civilian-led administration. And India suffered their first defeat at the ICC World Cup as England secure a 31-run win. Qualification for the semi-finals remains wide open. Prime Minister Sharma has ruled out the possibility of quitting the government's leadership until the people experience the anticipated development in the country. Prime Minister Oli has made the remark at a time when the party's co-chairman Pushpakumar Dahal has been repeatedly mentioning about the agreement forced for premiership on rotational basis at different public forums. He was speaking at the inauguration function of the National Labour and Employment Conference that kicked off in the capital. Prime Minister Oli said that he would leave the premiership only after bringing changes country's citizens. Meanwhile, he also requested the opposition to support the government in bolstering economic prosperity. On a different note, Prime Minister Oli said that a majority of the country's youths have been compelled to opt for abroad employment due to the lack of modernization and commercialization of the agriculture sector. Political parties have recently engaged themselves in the final groundworks aimed at sorting out the issues related to the 10-year-long insurgency. Discussions are currently underway on concluding the transitional justice by emphasizing clemency-based reconciliation. The discourse regarding the truth and reconciliation on the conflict-related cases have gained momentum in the past couple of weeks. Although other issues related to the peace process have been sorted out, the cases of extrajudicial killings along with other heinous crimes committed during the insurgency period have turned even more challenging to resolve for the political parties. They have thus focused their attention towards resolving the cases based on reconciliation with a significant amount of compensation to the victims. The political parties have been dwelling on ways to convince the international community by penalizing culprits just in a few cases of serious human rights violations, while granting amnesty to the remaining culprits through the means of compensation and forgiveness. The Supreme Court has, however, already ruled out reconciliation in the cases of heinous crimes against humanity. In this context, it is doubtful if the modality that the political parties have been trying to adopt, which moreover appears to be aimed at concealing and getting away with the serious crimes committed during the conflict, would help ensure justice to the victims. Although the government claims of having a conducive environment for investment in the country, foreign direct investment has declined by 39% in the last 10 months in comparison to the same period last year. On top of that, the industries and projects with foreign investment have been operating by receiving loans from Nepalese banks. Two development projects which were supposed to operate with foreign direct investment have been operating with the investment of around 29 billion rupees from Nepalese banks. Hongshe Shivam Cement Industry and Arun 3 hydropower project are both supposed to operate with foreign direct investment. However, both of these projects have been operating with loans from Nepalese banks. Hongshe Shivam Cement is operating with Chinese investment of 36 billion rupees, out of which 16 billion rupees has been invested by taking loans from 5 Nepalese banks. NMB Bank has the highest investment of 6.75 billion rupees in the cement industry. The 900 megawatt capacity Arun 3 hydropower project with the investment of the Indian cooperative company Satluz Hydropower Corporation has taken a loan of around 13 billion rupees from Nepalese banks. Foreign banks find it risky to invest in Nepal since there is no credit rating. as it is easier to find capital in Nepal compared to India and China, and that too at a lower interest rate. Industries and projects with foreign investment have been reaping benefits. The ongoing liquidity crisis would further exacerbate if the trend of collecting loans from Nepalese banks for the projects and industries under foreign direct investment continues. This would also pose difficulties for small businesses to expand their investments. The scenario would make a negative impact on the overall national economy, due to which the concerned authorities should put in some concrete measures to do away with the scenario. Yesterday, 15th of Asad in the Nepalese calendar was observed as the National Paddy Day in Nepal. Government officials, including ministers and other public representatives, took to the field to plant paddies on the day. In this context, we had asked the farmers and stakeholders at Siwa of Fidem municipality participating in one such program, how would observing the Paddy Day help boost paddy production across the country? Let's now take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
हाम्रो तहबाट पनि आएर यहाँ रोपाइका कार्यमा प्रत्यक्ष संलग्न हुँदा गाउँ छिमेक गाउँघरमा विशेष गरी कृषकहरूको परिवारहरूमा एक किसिमको उत्साह फैलन्छ र अलिकति सामाजिक मनोवैज्ञानिक असर पनि पर्छ।
यो खालको कार्यक्रम चाहिँ खासै के प्रभाव पार्छ जस्तो त लाग्दैन। अब यहाँ हाम्रो यो ब्यानरमा आएको छ अब कृषि आधुनिकीकरण गर्ने भनेर हैन, यो आधुनिकीकरणको छनक के देखिँदैन यसमा। अब मनोरञ्जनको हिसाबले मनोरञ्जन त हुँदैछ,
यसो गरेर मात्र पनि हुँदैन हैन। हामीलाई चाहिँ जसै उन्नत जातको बिउहरू दिए अलि राम्रो हुन्छ कि जस्तो लाग्छ।
दिवसको रूपमा मात्रै नमनाएर यसलाई व्यावहारिक पक्षबाट पनि कृषिमा लगानी गरेर कृषि उत्पादन कार्यमा उत्पादन गर्न लगाउनु, कृषकहरूलाई हौसला प्रदान गर्नु।
कुलोको सिँचाइ पनि राख्नुपर्छ हैन। अहिले रोडले गर्दा त्यतिको पानी आउने ठाउँ पनि छैन यहाँनिर, कुलो मुनि परेर।
एक दिन आएर मनोरञ्जनको निम्ति राजनीतिक दलका नेताहरू, सङ्घ संस्थाका चाहिँ प्रमुखहरू, प्रतिनिधिहरूले आएर हिलोमा खेल्दैमा चाहिँ यो हुँदैन। यसको समाधानको लागि अलिक मसिनो ढङ्गले यसका चाहिँ समस्याहरू खोजेर अघि बढ्नुपर्छ।
It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public pulse.
The question is, what is your say on the distribution of buffaloes to influential people, which were actually meant for the families of martyrs? Your options are A, abuse of power, B, selfish nature, and C, defect in criteria. The voting is on. You can type NEWS, select your option A, B or C, and then send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. With this, let us move on to the sports news.
Sports news.
Hosts Egypt have won all of their group stage matches at the African Cup of Nations. Egypt progressed to the knockout round following a 2-0 win against Uganda in the match played in Cairo last night. Mohamed Salah converted a free kick in the 36th minute to put Egypt ahead, while Ahmed El Mohammadi sealed the 2-0 win in the first half additional time. Despite creating pressure in the second half, Uganda failed to score against Egypt. Both the nations had already progressed to the knockout round from Group A. In the same group match, Congo humbled Zimbabwe 4-0. Cedric Bakambu scored a brace in Congo's victory, while their hope of progressing to the next round as the best third team is still alive. In Group B, Nigeria were stunned 2-0 against Madagascar. Making a debut at the African Cup of Nations, Madagascar have already emerged as the group winners with 7 points from 3 matches. Group runners of Nigeria have 6 points. Elsewhere, Guinea brushed aside 10-men Burundi 2-0. Guinea can still progress as the best third team. It is now time for our daily special segment, Off the Beat. Namche, the name might represent and sound like a remote hill district of our country, Nepal. However, we might be in for a serious surprise, as the present-day market of Namche might be compared to the pomp and show of the capital's Tamil market. The natural beauty at its very best during the daytime, Namche wakes up to the sound of music at various pubs in every nook and corner as evening sets in. Tourists and visitors are greeted with live music at the various restaurants, bars and resorts, where following a hard day's trekking and sightseeing, the tourists have a whale of a time relaxing to the soothing music every evening. In peak seasons, it is very difficult to accommodate a massive number of tourists who flock these restaurants and bars. Undoubtedly, these bars, restaurants and resorts have played an instrumental role in catering to the needs of the visitors who come to Namche in search of adventure, recreation and soul-searching. The alpaca, commonly found in South American nation Peru, have also been farmed in Nepal for the last 2 decades. The Himalayan plantation has been farming alpaca for quite some time in Makwanpur's Tha municipality, where they were breeded later on. The Himalayan plantation currently boasts of 15 alpacas, including 3 females. Wool from its skin cover is used in the production of high-quality pashmina shawls. Its #1 wool covering the abdomen area is sold for 70,000 rupees per kg, while wool from the other parts of its body is sold for 40,000 rupees for every kg. The Himalayan plantation had invested 40 million rupees for the farming of alpacas. Visitors from different places also come to Tha municipality as they are kept amused by the strange looks of alpacas that resemble with llama, a more popular breed. This is Prarambha Dahal for Kantipur News Desk. That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin airs at 11 a.m. Keep watching Kantipur Television SD for more news and entertainment. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day ahead.